All right, Nick, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. This is a team that came off of a huge win, coming back fourth quarter comeback on the Ravens last week. And people started to wonder, this Dolphins team, they look pretty serious, but are they for real? Is this a team that people need to be scared of? And they walked up on Buffalo, the hottest team in the NFL, I would say, and beat them down in ways that people didn't even think was possible. You know, this was a defensive performance by the Dolphins. They scored enough points to win, but this defense, I'd say they stopped the hottest offense in football at the time, and they did it in a stunning fashion that nobody would have thought was possible. Obviously, there are a couple miscues by the Bills, but this was a huge defensive day for the Dolphins. And we got to know, Dolphins fans, in the comments below, who's your MVP of the day? There's a guy like Melvin Ingram who had a stellar performance, 3 sacks, a forced fumble, a couple big tackles. Is it Tua for being, the champ? He stuck in there, he even got hurt, went out of the game, came back in, and finished the game out. Let us know in the comments below who your MVP of the game is. But Nick, should Dolphins fans be worried? How bad was Tua's injury? Do we have anything on that?
Well, it looked bad, obviously, late in the first half with that hit. It kind of looked like a head injury, potentially serious concussion, and he wobbled, and there was some concerns, and then he came back. So a lot of question marks. So we got the latest. This is from Ian Rappaport here, reading it off his tweet. My understanding of the Tua Tagovailoa situation, he tweaked his back in the first quarter on a sneak and didn't miss time. After the Matt Milano hit, that was the hit late in the first half where he got hurt, was all woozy. His back locked up, leading to him wobbling into the locker room for a full concussion check, fully cleared, now back on the field. So it
Good.
looks like it probably looked much worse on live TV. It looked like, oh my gosh, is this a concussion? He looks really woozy. Turns out it was potentially just a back spasm. So that's obviously good news for Dolphins fans because obviously Tua was able to come back and play and they won the game. But I want to look back. You talk about defense. The offense did just enough, though, for Miami. And one play that I think will kind of maybe be forgotten with that wild, crazy finish was that 3rd and 22 Miami had. They were trailing 17-14 at the time. And I mean, 3rd and 22, that's a 0% chance to convert that. Instead, Tua sits in the pocket and delivers an absolute bomb. Beautiful throw, drops it in just out into a bucket to Jalen Waddle to get them right around the goal line, around the 5-yard line. They would later punch it in to take the lead and eventually win the game. And it's those plays, right? Because sometimes it's not your day offensively in terms of moving the ball up and down the field. We saw it was last week against the Ravens. But having the ability to be clutch and make the big time throws, those big time completions, that's what you need to do when you're trying to make that step between, well, are they an okay team? Are they a real contender? Real contenders find a way to make big plays in big moments. And that's exactly what Tua and Jalen Waddle did in that situation that gave him the lead.
Yeah, Nick, and congrats to us, pat on the back. We've been on the Dolphins train for a while now. We've seen McDaniel, what he's been doing, the offensive genius. Obviously, we saw some defensive genius today from the Dolphins. You've seen 2 performances. If they could put together a complete performance, the defense that was out there today and the offense that was out there versus the Ravens, this team can beat anybody. Obviously, I think they can beat anybody right now, but they could walk through the playoffs if they perform like this on a daily basis, don't you think?
Well, yeah, especially for a Bills team that's been waxing everybody. They obviously crushed the Rams week 1 and kind of opened everybody's eyes. For like, oh my gosh, the Rams defending Super Bowl champs at home. God, whoa, these Bills are legit. And then they followed up and demolished Tennessee a week later. And people are like, this Bills team that we knew was good. They're even better than we thought they were. And then they come into Miami, and then Miami just makes a big statement, right? They make a lot of big plays on defense. The turnover gives them the early score, and obviously the clutchness down the late. This team plays good complementary football. The Miami Dolphins do, and that's kind of the counterbalance to Buffalo, because Buffalo plays a lot of good complementary football with all the things they can do. And the fact that Miami was kind of sort of able to beat Buffalo at their own game a little bit, use big plays offensively, some key defensive stops, and some turnovers to come up with this big win here, I think it's just a massive statement from the Miami Dolphins. And I do give a lot of credit to this Dolphins defense, right? After that goal line stand late, the Dolphins offense wasn't able to finish it out to get a first down. Then, of course, they have that embarrassing blocked punt for a safety that gave the Bills closer. How about the special teams and the defense for Miami, not allowing the Bills to get in field goal range before the clock expired? I love the clutchness, right? Because that's what you need to be a true contender. You need to make the big plays at the big moments.
Yeah, Nick, and let's take a quick look ahead at the rest of Miami's schedule for the next 3 weeks. The Dolphins have the Bengals, which I feel like they should win that game. The Bengals have looked very shaky as of late. Then they have the Jets, who I feel certain that the Dolphins can beat. And then I guess the next big test for them is a tough Vikings team. They look scrappy. They made a comeback win today as well. So that'll be the next real tough competition they have. Obviously, any given Sunday. But I think the Dolphins have a good chance to come into this season looking pretty hot, 6-0. And, talking about a really, really good run, maybe a first seed, home field advantage.